Hello everybody, I'm here in the studio and I just thought I'd pop in front of the camera before we get down to the table and just let you guys know that 𝐈𝐍𝐍𝐈𝐍𝐄 Virtual Summit starts early bird enrollment on October 1st, which is tomorrow as you're looking at this Saturday video. So check the link below. The early bird specials are going to be $87. It's only going to be 2,000 spots and there's 10 of us who are doing this. So I have Seth and Kajia Avery and Alex Castro Ferrero and Linda Harvey and Tara Axford and Katie Steinley and Kat Kirby and Mary Beth Shaw from Stencil Girl. You guys, you know, you love her, and Alexis Cohen, Art Healing, and myself, and I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but it's a great crew that's going to be doing this virtual summit. So there's going to be all these independent workshops. We're going to be doing some gel printing. We're going to be doing mixed media techniques. We're going to be doing some of the art of creating your own products and how to like roll out products, even if you want to make things for your own like Christmas gifts and things like that to give to people with your artwork. So Seth is going to be leading some of that fun stuff up, and we're going to be creating books. And the whole idea is 𝐈𝐍𝐍𝐈𝐍𝐄, which is visual storytelling. So how do we tell our stories visually? What is your iconography and all that good stuff? So please join me in this epic summit around the celebration of my book, Gel Plate Printing for Mixed Media Art. Already we're in our second printing. There have been thousands and thousands and thousands of copies sold, and it hasn't hit the bookstores yet. October 28th, it'll actually be in the bookstore. So just thank you guys so much for supporting my work, supporting what I do. And so my payback is jump in and get that early bird special for $87. Like I said, there's 2,000 spots. Once those are gone, it'll go up to $117 until everything opens on November 6th. It is self-paced. It's evergreen. You can get in there and just do as much work as you want forever, but once the doors close on it, it will not be opening again. So if you think it's something you want to do, but you don't have time right now, November, the first week of November, maybe not a good time, go ahead and grab it for $87, knowing that it'll be there and it'll be open to you to jump in and enjoy. So other than that, let's hit the table and have fun. All the links will be below, and all the, any additional information you'll find by clicking the links and going over to my website. Thank you guys. Let's get to do some jelly printing. So happy Saturday. We're down on the table here, and let's get started. So I'm working, I've had my large plate out, just working on the large plate. So I just decided to keep it out. You can do this on any plate that you have. I'm back with the rice papers or this Scampi paper, and I wanted to kind of keep on working through some stuff. So I'm gonna show you what I've been doing. And I thought that we could do some of this together, but look at these papers. So this is working on this rice paper with on the plate. I'm using some inks. You can also use your paints. This is using some of the paint, some of the quinacridone, the inks. I mean, just some good stuff. And these are all collage ready. Look at that. Oh, yum. These are all collage ready, and just another way for us to work with this rice paper that we got, because we've got to use this stuff. I mean, it is like the best. And so for it to go along with some of the papers that we made in the previous video, you can kind of see how these can kind of start dovetailing and working together in collages. I mean, there's just so much good stuff here. So I'm going to work slightly differently in this one, but with the idea that all these are designed to work together and just kind of keep on pushing how we want to work. So I'm gonna work with my larger brush strokes, and let's just keep on playing. Enough is not enough. So let's use some white. This is the matte acrylic, and I find with these papers, in order to get kind of a cool transition, you just want to make sure in this particular technique, you just have a nice layer of paint. So I've got a good layer of paint there. And then I'm going to use one of my brushes and I got some ink here. You could use fluid acrylic paints for this. So, haha, I love my brush painting. But then with this white, you're going to see the paint will mix in beautifully. And let's just take a, you need to always remember still put down your cover sheet because, you know, the moisture seeps through the paper. So you really want to have something to protect it so you're not, you know, swishing all that color around on the back. Okay. So we really get a lot of good color picked up here. Like it picks up the white paint nicely. And so you can see. So we're getting some good brush work. And you can use, you don't have to have a Sumi brush. You can use a regular paint brush. But it's just really digging into that plate and creating some of those kind of patterns that we made before. But then the brush strokes. Just some really good stuff. I'm really enjoying making this paper. Now, we already have some of this down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little quinacridone down. I know quinacridone these days is hard to find, or it's getting hard to find. But you can use any fluid acrylic. And I'm letting myself get another pattern here. And then we can just take and do a little bit of brush work again, a little bit of ink. And let's put that down. Pick this up. And so this is how we kind of do a little old wall. We're doing a little, you know, brush work because we're going to be picking up. I find when the paint, when there's a good amount of paint down on the plate where it's not dry, you know, you just want a nice layer where it's not too much of a puddle, but it's also not super thin. Like we don't want to do any glazing layers because the glazing layers, this paper really isn't strong enough to pick them up. It seems like it's strong enough not to rip, but it's not going to be strong enough to grab the amount of color we want to grab. Like this. Well, this is good. So see how we're picking that up? We're getting that quin. We're getting a lot of layers. We're getting some of the stuff that was down there before. You can see it in the background. And these are just going to make some really amazing collage papers. And then one of the things I like to do is that I periodically am going to use the glass scene. So, you know, we all have this glass scene. So what I like to do is periodically use the glass scene just to clean the plate. So I can use a little bit of quin, 1, 2 here. And just a thin layer again. But I mean, I'm using that because that's what I have here. You could use any, I could change the color and put the green gold down, which I think I will, so that you can see we can use just about anything to really clean this up with. This allows us to clean the surface of the plate. The glass scene really pulls a lot of material off the plate. The thin layer of the quin or any sort of fluid acrylics are generally good for pulling the color off. And then what it does is it allows us to lay a fresh layer of paint and stuff down to start to have the papers pull again. So it's just kind of playing around. You know, the gel plate works at its best when you can change the type of paints that you have down, change the type of papers. Look at that. That's good. Change the type of papers, and then, you know, like working back and forth between the two really makes a difference. So let's put some more white down. So we're just playing here, just loosely with creating our patterns. Some more ink in here. And we can go back to, I had this idea that I kind of wanted to work with some big squares. And I'm really pushing through the plate because I really want to move the paint so that we get that separation. When we come back, we put our piece down. And I made them big enough because I kind of wanted them sort of go off the plate. Just sort of thinking about papers that can be used as collage papers, background papers. And so I felt like the last time we did this, we just got so much good stuff that I want to just kind of keep on playing with this technique and really pushing it out to discover more things we can do with this paper. Because it's such a good price for the money. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's good. See, so we just get these really graphic, really just beautiful prints to continue we're working with. Just trying to find, I find it's good to put this down on like a wax paper or something while it's drying. So what I want to do is, see, the next thing that I want to do here is what? I got so many ideas. Oh, I know I wanted to get, let's get some other paint. So we're not just working with the Quinn and then, this is wet right here. So what do I want to do with it? You know what? I'm just going to, well, no, because what's going to happen is I don't want too much of that to bleed into the plate. So I'm just going to take a paper towel and absorb it. And I try to absorb it like that because then, I stain the paper towel and I do all of that. So that way I still have that ink or that paint. Okay, so most of that's up, but at least the I think the top was a little bit stuck, so let's just get some out. Come on, I know you're in there. Look at big blob. Okay, so let's start moving that around a bit. Okay, and let's get a little bit of blue. Just a little bit. These are a couple of my favorite colors together too. And we got a little bit of that black moving around up there, which I like. So we're going to keep that. And then I want to come back with some more. And let's just do, the main thing is to get, you want to really press down so you're breaking up the surface. Oh, look at like what this brush is doing. So we really want to break that surface up. That down. Just want to work with as many kind of color pattern combinations as possible. This paper is very forgiving. It really is. Like it seems like it just will absorb just about anything you put on the plate. Okay. Let's pull this up. See what we have here. Oh, good stuff. What I like about it is that it really has a gentle pull. So when you have the places where the paint didn't go, we still have that beautiful, long fibers in there. And this is all designed for us to use in our collage papers or what have you. So now here what we have is, one more time, let's just, you know what, I'm going to see if I can pull some of that up on, because it'll keep on, hold up, let's do it this way. I don't want to pull this end, since that was still kind of fresh. And this glass scene that we're working on, we'll still pull some of this up. So that way we can kind of keep on building layers on this print as well. So like I'll use that to clean the plate, but also I love it for just kind of continuing to build a print. So this is the Quinn Magenta. So I'm going to clean the plate at this point. So, you want to go back and forth between your, the important thing here to remember is you're going back and forth between the rice paper and a heavier paper. So let's say you don't have this. I know many of you do have the glassine. And I have a link below. But those of you who don't, you can go and you already have gotten the, oh, I know I want to use this one. So this right here, we're going to keep on pulling on it. And you want to go back and forth between the rice paper and cleaning your plate. You can use copier paper. Copier paper is heavy enough to pull things off and clean the plate. And at the same time, leaving you a clean plate so you can go back with something that doesn't have a whole lot on there so that you can pick things up with your, with your rice paper. Oh, look at that. Yeah. So see, we're cleaning the plate. And we're getting some really cool stuff. So see how we can begin to build a background to continue to print on by just cleaning the plate. So we're going to now go back to here and we're going to put down, let's just try the blue turquoise. Let's make some colorful papers, Robin. I'm like using an ink. You can use any ink. You can use other fluid acrylics, just as long as it's kind of got a little bit of fluid to it, movement. That'll be enough to do it. So let's get a little bit of this red ink. So like I said, you can definitely change your colors, but it just occurred to me that color on here could really be nice. So let's see what we want to do. I like these really graphic type of movements, but you kind of do whatever your vibe is. Okay. And the other reason why I'm working on a plate larger than my paper is because I really want the image to go off the sides. So if you're wondering, my idea is I really want the image to fall off the sides. And I find the best way of doing that is to work on a plate a little larger than the piece of paper. But of course, if you don't have a large plate, don't hesitate to still do this, you know. Maybe you'll just make your designs a little bigger so they couldn't fall off the plate, you know, like if that's what you want to do. You know, there's no rules. We know that. No right, no wrong. Just do what you'd like to do. But this is, you know, just an opportunity to be inspired by some of what I'm doing. Oh, wow, this is yummy. Look at that. Wow. Oh, that's going to be so nice when it's dry. Because we're going to see a lot of that orange. But the thing I like is I'm still liking the fact that we're seeing this paper through it. And that's going to be worth its weight in gold when we go to place to put it, when we go to use it as a collage paper. You know, we don't want it all to be the same. So let me just go ahead and see if I can just move some of that ink around. And let's get the magenta. And I wouldn't say that you don't want a glaze layer and you don't want a super thick layer, but you do want the plate, you do want to see moisture on this plate. So you do want to get a little, you know. Let me see. Let's get that. Alrighty. Good stuff. Yeah, so I thought, you know, we'd just come in and play a little bit on the gel plate. We always love that. And celebrate the fact that we're on our second printing and everything is going amazingly well with this book. We're on the second printing and it hasn't even come out to the stores. This is amazing. You guys in this community are awesome. I just can't thank you all enough for being such enthusiasts about the gel plate and the work that I do, as I am excited about all of this. So we're definitely tribes people, and you guys deserve to, you know, take some of the credit for this journey as well. And I really appreciate you. So lots to come, but really excited by where we are. So make sure you get the early bird special. It'll be below so that you can come in and hang out with some amazing, amazing artists that have planned some incredible, oh, look at that. This is going to be so good when it's dried. Oh gosh, that's going to be good. Has, you know, really created some really incredible journeys. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try something here. We still have some color down there. I wonder if, see, what other color do I have over here? Oh, I got Quinn Burnt Orange. Let's use that. Put some of that down. Now this, let's just do some brush work. This is one technique that I have in the book. So let's put some. Is using your paintbrush on the gel plate to just create sort of this painterly effect. Like I said, our goal is to just get just as many different kind of textures and collage papers for our work, you know. We can put it in our junk journals, in our art journals, in our collage pieces. You know, all the things we use papers, our mark make papers for. And then these papers can also be stained. Ooh, look at this. This is good. Look at that. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. See, just the simplistic sort of brushwork, but look at the line that you get. You know, that is a collage papers. You could just do these in all different colors. And I even feel like we can get a little bit of, let's put a little bit of Quinn down there. Do the same thing. And, you know, you can lay it down again. So we can you can kind of keep on building these kind of brushwork papers up. So let's put that down and see what we get. So, you know, you don't stop. You can just kind of, and even that once the paper's dry, you know, you can come back and do another layer. Just have fun with it, for sure. So just a few ideas to get you going. Continue to use these papers and just kind of do some easy techniques that really build on themselves. See, this is good. So now that layer of that Quinn with the burnt orange, burnt orange, and then the black ink. See, we just kind of keep on building these papers up. Get this really rich thing that we get going on. So I'll be back with the papers dry so we can take a look at them. And yeah, see you in a minute. I thought while we're waiting for things to dry, I'm going to clean the plate off for this session. So this should be a fun pull. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to use the Blick matte acrylic in the white. I'm going to do it over the whole plate because I'm going to use the large piece of paper in the sorry, my mind's all over the place. In the white glassine paper. I love that as a final pull too because it really cleans the plate. And you see I got a nice amount of paint down here. So don't be afraid. Especially on your large plate, you gotta. Okay. So now I'm going to get my brush. Of course, I'm going to do my mark making here. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to get everything that's underneath there as well. It's going to pull. Put this down here. Let it all. See, I got that little. I'm going to pull it up some, so it's just going to extend the print there a little bit. That's okay. And I'm going to really press this down good and let it dry. Probably about 5 minutes because I really want to get got ink everywhere. I really want to get a good pull. So we'll let this sit and I'll be back to pull it. And this is going to clean our entire plate from this session. All right, see ya. Okay, this has been sitting about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and pull it off and see what we get here. It's going to be really graffiti-like because of all the colors that are already down there. Then we're going to pull along with that really dramatic ink. We should get something pretty nice and wild. Oh yeah, look at that. Good stuff. So it kind of gives you the feeling of like an old billboard wall or something with the graffiti and all the extra color paint buildup. Oh, I love it. So I really like this idea of cleaning the plate with a large sheet because you pick up all these colors. You can see we've got some gold laying there, all the colors that we were working with. So the white just becomes a good background. For me, my expressive, intuitive painting, you know, Sumi painting and line work just kind of puts on the piece what, you know, like my aesthetic. You could do anything with it yourself. But yeah, we're going to let this dry. This is good. This is good. So yeah, there we have it. So that cleans the plate. And what this leaves us with is I have a little bit of ink down there. So sometimes you can just put a little baby oil and a paper towel. And we're just going to kind of clean a lot of this off. Using the baby oil, you can really just clean things and really start moving stuff around. And some of it I'll leave because I'm going to keep on working so I can come back and pick some of this paint up and stuff. So, you know, you can kind of do it like that, or you can clean your entire plate with the baby oil. Every now and then it's a good thing to do just to clean it. You can use a baby wipe and then come back with some baby oil. But I just thought I would show you that because we hadn't done sort of plate cleaning in a while. So you can do that if you want to completely clean the plate. Sometimes what I do, if it's stuff on there that I want to not be there, I'll come back and clean bits of it, and then I'll leave some of this so that I'll pick it up the next time. So your choice. I'll be back with the finished dried pieces. Okay, let's do a final flip on our papers. They always look so different when they're dry. So this is with the white black matte acrylic. It's funny how that looks like an eye. Doesn't that look just like an eye? And this is our splatters with our two-tone. This is some more with the a little bit of Quinn and the brush painting. And here again, just being able to have that translucent. So when you glue this down with PVA, you want to use a PVA glue. Like this is our glitter glue, which is a PVA. I also love this one by 𝐈𝐍𝐿𝐍𝐈𝐍𝐿. But any PVA glue, when you put this paper down with it, it causes the paper to go transparent. You can even see right there how you can see through it. And it really does build up these really neat layers. If you just use a glue stick, you don't get the same level of transparency because you almost need the paper to pick up a lot of moisture. So keep that in mind. You can really work to the advantage of this paper if you're using a white glue to glue it down. Look at this. This looks so good. That orange with the blue and that sort of pebbling. Oh, it's just so good. This is the Quinn magenta with the orange. Just love it. A little bit of that blue is in there, the teal. And then this is the one that we did this, so the brush stroking on. And it's just a neat technique. It's just a neat way to put paint on the plate and pull it without using the brayer. And I love this one. The big squares that we did, just like sort of off the paper so that when you sort of use these elements, even as separate elements, you know, you just get some really cool stuff that can build up in collaging and working things. So these are the large sheets that we did. Just to take a look at them. So this is the one of the last ones that I pulled. I don't know that I did this one with you. I might have done this one on Patreon now. I'll look at it. So at least, well, you get to see some fun ones that we did on Patreon. I'll show you another one. Because I did a full session. A lot of times me and my patrons hang out. And this is another one we did. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's a lot of the white paint with then the Quinn with all that pebbling that the ink does. And then this is the one that we did where we're just cleaning up the plate. We were just cleaning the plate and you just end up with this really nice background that you can continue to collage with, and even using some of the papers that we've created, you know, you can build up. So this just becomes a nice surface. And then here's the other one, the last one that I did where I pulled the plate. But a lot of ink came up, a lot of paint came up. And so this one would literally be ready to start collaging even like some of these other elements. Like if I pulled this one, let's say I decided I wanted to, you know, cut this down and start putting elements down. Like I could literally just take like this square here, take it out and start putting, you know, elements down different places using some of the very papers that we've made because they have a similar line consistency to them, you know, and they'll be nice and thin that they'll really will blend in with the piece to create a larger collage piece. I'll have to do that. Maybe next week I'll do some collaging with these so you could see how we can finish off some of these larger pieces using our mark make papers. So I'll try to remember that. I'll make a note to self to do that. All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out with me. And once again, don't forget to hit the link and go over and at least check out the summit to see if it's something you want to do because it's amazing pricing for all of those videos. I mean, there's going to be at least 10 hours worth of stuff that you can just connect with and enjoy with PDFs. There's a lot of freebies, so everybody offers some kind of free thing that will, you know, that you can connect with their community. So it's a lot. You get a lot of value for connecting with this summit. Love you guys. See you next week. Bye-bye.